I was supposed to fight 145 at my first one, right? But my original opponent pulled out for, I don't even know. They didn't tell me why he pulled out. He could have been scared or whatever. But
What is up, my MMA brothers and sisters? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk MMA. I have another special guest. I'm super excited for you guys to meet Olin Pettit. He's fighting out of Lodi, I should say, at the Nate Diaz Academy. He's having his amateur. I just saw his first amateur fight, and I'm just really excited about what he's going to do in his career. And we're catching him at the beginning of it at Conquer 4, where you know we'll be. He's going to have his second amateur fight. So we're going to talk about him, get to know him a little bit as we look forward to his next fight and kind of his journey and everything he's got going on. So without further ado, let's get to know Olin Pettit.
what's up?
Olin, what's up, brother? How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. So happy Friday. First off, I'm sure you like Fridays, right?
Yeah, I love Fridays. Fridays are the best.
Well, you actually have a fight coming up at Conquer 4, which is just a couple of weeks. So what's your schedule looking like nowadays as the fight's coming closer?
Just training, running, training, trying to get at least 2-3 sessions in a day. Just working, trying to stay active a lot.
That's awesome. And you're in Lodi. You're actually in the new facility at they're calling it the Nick Diaz Academy, right?
Yeah, Nick Diaz Academy. We're located in Stockton now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually went out there. I have two younger daughters, 10 and 7. I wanted to get them in jiu-jitsu. I actually live in Lathrop, so I'm actually not too far.
Okay.
But so I go out there in Lodi, and then once I get there, I see that they're moving, and I'm like, oh man, what's going on? So I ended up getting them somewhere a little closer. Obviously, they're young, but hopefully on an open mat, maybe we can go out there and check it out in person.
Yeah, definitely. Come by whenever. Yeah.
Hey,
welcome.
Much appreciated. I mean, I don't have a gi yet, but with my little girls, I get down a little bit.
That's good. That's good.
Well, Olin, I saw your first amateur fight. You were at the 209 beatdown. And I want to talk about that, but since it's our first time for me to get to know you and everyone who watches this podcast, I am curious, where did your martial arts kind of start? Like, where was it that it entered your life? What age? How did that come to be?
I was about like 12 years old. My dad's the one that got me into it. He showed me this BJ Penn versus Nick Diaz fight. It was real badass. I seen Nick beat the bricks off of BJ Penn,
and that's when BJ Penn was the shit, so to see that happen was like, whoa.
Yeah, and my dad was telling me, he's like, Nick's from 209 in Stockton, this is like way before, like when they were located in downtown Lodi on School Street.
Yeah.
This is years ago. I was like, oh, that's pretty badass, And then ever since then, I was like, I want to do that. That seems pretty fun, you get to punch people for money, for a living. That's pretty fun. So then, we went there to go check it out. Downtown Lodi signed me up, and ever since then, it's just been a part of my life.
Wow. So your dad actually kind of, upon watching the fights, exposing it to you, he kind of sparked the interest, and that's kind of how you started. How old are you now?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Okay. Fresh as can be. And that's what's trippy to me because I saw your amateur fight, and again, we'll get closer. I'll do it like a timeline, but I was just so freaking impressed. But at 12 years old, is this when you started training?
Yeah, 12 years old, going on to 13 years old. That's when I started training.
Awesome. Now I see all the medals behind you. What is the majority of these medals? Obviously, jiu-jitsu, I'm sure, is a majority of them.
Yeah, actually, all of them are jiu-jitsu. I do a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments. Been competing since I started. So.
And right now, if I recall correctly, I mean, I think you have a small little YouTube channel that I ended up running across. Is that right?
Yeah, I got a little small one. Yeah, I haven't updated it for like a year or two now, but yeah, it has most of my jiu-jitsu matches on it.
Well, I found it. I subscribed, and so I was looking through there, checking out the matches. And one of those videos, I think you're a blue belt, but what's going on? What's the update now? What's your belt right now?
I'm still a blue belt. I got my blue belt at 16 years old. So like how it kind of goes down is once you're turning 16, that's kind of like an adult for jiu-jitsu. That's when you get your blue belt and all that. And I went through all my kids' belts too. I went from yellow to orange to green. And then once I turned 16, got my blue belt.
Wow.
So,
I mean, that's pretty amazing for the age, but I mean, you've just been on it, right? I mean, the 12, 13 when you got started, I mean, is that were you training like 3 days a week and you just been on it ever since?
When I first started, I started 2 days out of the week.
Okay.
So I'd only go 2 days. And that went on for like probably 3-4 months. And I did like my first tournament. And I did like first 3. I won gold in my first one. Then the last 2, I won silver. And then out of nowhere, I got my yellow belt. So I was like, oh shit, this is for real. I kind of got to start turning this up, start coming more days out of the week. And then ever since then, I started trying to come at least 7 days out of the week, if not 6 days out of the week.
Nice. Wow. So you turned it up.
Yeah, got it.
Well, I bet once you got your first medal, I wrestled in high school, so that was kind of like my competition taste that I was able to get. But I bet when you got that first medal, I mean, you're probably addicted ever since.
Yeah, it was something. It was like the best feeling in the world. Nothing can ever compare to it. Just getting that gold medal, after you're beating a couple of people, tough matches, and it's just great to come up on top.
As they say, the feeling of getting your hand raised is a drug by itself.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you, okay, so you're doing all this jiu-jitsu. At what point do you kind of change gears into MMA and working on your stand-up?
Well, MMA has always been my goal since the get-go, since I first started. But when I started, my dad said, you know what, we want you to do jiu-jitsu first. You got to get your ground game up. Because, most fights are going to end up on the ground.
Right.
I don't want to be the fighter that gets taken down and I'm like, well, what the hell do I do now,
Yeah.
So then we started jiu-jitsu and then, slowly the striking started coming in. I started doing it here and there, still over the years and stuff. I'm doing striking a lot more now, but it's still it was here and there before. I started turning up my striking probably 2 years ago.
And
about when I was 16.
Through the academy, I know that they have the different classes, boxing. I believe there's even wrestling classes and stuff like that. So basically, you're just jumping into those classes. So you're always mixing it up. Is that about right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into as many classes as I can. We got jiu-jitsu at 11 a.m. Monday through Thursday. I go to those, and then wrestling Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I go to those, and boxing right afternoon classes and stuff. So I try to hit up everything as much as I can.
That's awesome, man. And I always see it this way. I mean, whether, it's obviously martial arts, what we're talking about, or, you're working at whatever factory, let's say, if you put in hard work, I mean, hard work pays off. But in this sport, you really got to push it like that. So to do it at such a young age, for me, let's get into this first fight. I saw this first fight, and for me, the stand-up, you're 1-2, and I saw the similarities of the Diaz brothers, and I'm just like, he's so fast, and you had a wrestler. By the time it did go to the ground, he had no idea what to do, but you were just lighting him up on the feet. I mean, that looked like the perfect amateur fight. How about you take us through that fight and how you felt about it?
It was something fun, it was fun to me. It was really fun. Leading up to the fight, we were working a lot of straights down the pipe and all that. Just working, clinching and stuff. So it was fun when I went in there. Just got to do all my skill set, it came all natural,
It looked that way.
Just
it
right
came
away.
off that way. Especially for the first amateur fight. Wow.
Yeah.
It was actually, I was very impressed because you did do the clinch against the fence. You were kneeing him. I mean, you saw most of what you had in your bag in this first fight. You looked comfortable. The crowd was on your side. I mean, it just looked freaking awesome. So now we're at Conquer 4. I think Conquer 4 is actually is a really big event. They got really good fights. I'm actually gonna be there. I have a booth, so I will physically be there. I'll be watching your fight. So that's what even makes it more exciting. I will be there. Now, let me bring up another thing. You fought at 155 pounds for that first amateur fight. You're going to fight 145 for this second amateur fight. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts in weight class, and what do you think is your best fit?
Well, originally I was supposed to fight 145 at my first one, right? But my original opponent pulled out for, I don't even know. They didn't tell me why he pulled out. He could have been scared or whatever. But they got me this new one, 2-week opponent. He said he didn't want to cut the weight to 145. He wanted to do 155. And I walk around about like 152, 153.
Oh, man.
But I didn't want to turn it down like, oh, 155, I don't know. I just wanted an opponent,
Yeah.
I got a bunch of friends, family coming out to this stuff. I didn't want to be like, no, I don't want to fight, dude, because they might have not gotten me another opponent.
Right.
So
plus you're mentally there already, I'm sure.
Yeah. I was down for 155. I don't really mind it, I train with bigger people than me all day, I train with like 200 pounders, 230 pounders all day, so it's really nothing to me. I don't care.
I mean, and that's the beauty of the amateur. Like I've talked to a lot of fighters, and it's always interesting, how they go about using the amateur. Obviously, some people will just jump into pro, but the amateur, it's a record that doesn't matter, so it's just more experience for you. I'm sure it's a decision on you and decision on your coaches, but what do you figure amateur-wise, how many fights do you think you want to put in that realm before you go pro?
I'm hoping this will be my last one, June 24th. I'm going to get this dub, and then hopefully it'll be my last amateur fight, going to pro after.
Awesome.
Actually start making moves and stuff, getting paid a lot more and stuff. So, yeah.
I mean, you're doing all the right things. You obviously are with a team that knows the deal, knows the business. So, I mean, to me, when I see all these things kind of put together, and the most important thing, you putting in the time, putting in the work, which obviously you are, I mean, your future is as bright as can be. So I'm excited to kind of jump on board your journey and watch you kind of do your thing. June 24th, Conquer 4, very soon. You have your opponent, Ian Masloff, I believe.
Yep.
I believe he's either 0-0. Where I saw this, they said it was a pro fight, and so both of you guys were 0-0. So wherever I saw this on the website didn't make any sense. But what do you know about your opponent?
I know that he's really 1-0. I know that. I watched his fight last time. I guess he's supposed to be some jiu-jitsu dude, but I'm a jiu-jitsu dude too, and I feel like I'm going to be years ahead of him in jiu-jitsu. I train with some of the best people in jiu-jitsu. Nick Diaz. I got Randy Spence, my head coach in jiu-jitsu. They're all just really good black belts and stuff,
Yep.
And just coming from the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Cesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, it's real good. So I'm not really too worried about it. If it goes to the ground, it goes to the ground. That's where I'm more comfortable at, Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, your confidence is coming through the screen, my man. Now that I get to meet you in person, I get to kind of connect all the dots. And for what I've seen out of your first fight and now what I'm seeing in person, like I said, totally excited for you. Congratulations. I'm going to give you right off the bat for your first win. I'll be there to see your second fight. But yeah, man. And last but not least, I always like to ask, this journey is a tough one. We've seen the legends and their careers. It's not an easy thing to do. So for you to be committed to it and go about it is an amazing thing. And that's why I put fighters at a high pedestal. You're someone special. Not anybody can just do this. So upon going on your journey and this, whatever happens in the future, what do you foresee for your future and kind of what are your goals at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, I mean, really, I'm just thinking about getting into the big leagues, Hopefully you get up there, maybe get to UFC. If not, hopefully Bellator, It's just been my dreams just to kind of fight in the big leagues and just make money off this,
Yeah.
Like I tell people, I get to punch people for money, Yeah, it's like that's like the best job to do. It's the funnest job to do, It's fun to do.
Well, so. I just thought of a question I was going to ask you earlier. So obviously you started with jiu-jitsu and with your dad exposing you to the fights and stuff like that. So when you first did start training stand-up and you got punched in the face, do you remember what that time and what do you like? Did you like it? Did you have to get used to it? What would you describe it?
It's something I had to get used to because no one really likes to get punched in their face, exactly. Right? When I first started, I sparred one of my friends, Daniel, and he's been doing it for like a while before me. He's the one that kind of helped me a little bit too in MMA and stuff. And then I sparred him for the first time, and in my head, I'm like, maybe, you know, Byron could beat his ass. You know, I got in a few street fights, you know, and I kind of whipped some people's asses in the streets, kind of.
Yeah.
And then I got punched for the first time, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is going to be for real. This dude's actually pretty fucking good.
And it's not like a street fight. Like, sometimes in a street fight, you know, you get people that don't even know how to punch. So you get somebody who knows how to punch and punches you at the right spot. You're like, oh, damn, this is the real thing.
Yeah. They punch you just perfectly anywhere good, like in your nose and shit. And I hate getting punched in my nose. It's like, fuck.
But then you got to keep your composure, right?
Yeah, you got to stay cool, calm, and collective, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just something I learned over the years of just sparring, you know? You got to stay calm, cool, and collective. Keep a good poker face and all, you know? You can't show your emotions. You know, if I get punched in my gut and it hurts, you know, I can't go, whoo, you know?
Right.
I got to keep a good poker face.
That's right. And you can't also get angry and try to, oh, now I just want to hit him back. You just got to keep
yeah, exactly. Start swinging all ballsy like and shit. Start missing shots.
Won't work, right?
Yeah.
Man, well, for 18, man, you are looking good, like I said, for the first fight. I can't wait to see the second fight because I'm sure you've only improved, obviously. And that's what's really cool. You know, when you're first starting, your improvements are just going to be leaps and bounds. So every next one is, for me, exciting to watch. So, Olin, thank you for taking this time. Thank you for meeting up with me and everything. And hopefully we can do this more in the future, maybe after your fight. But either way, I will see you June 24th at Conquer 4, Olin Pettit. If you don't know him now, you better jump on board. He's doing all the right things by the sounds of it. But if you want to give thanks to, you know, even your coaches too, because I know it's not a individual sport, it's your team. So if there's anybody out you want to call out, please do.
Yeah, you know, first off, thank you for letting me be on the show, you know, thank you. You know, thanks to all my coaches, you know, friends, family out there, you know, just real supporters, all the real ones.
Awesome. Well, represent, my man. I know you will.
Yep.
And hey, I'm really close by. Like I said, I've been actually trying to look up those open mats and try to get out there. So if anything, I'll probably be seeing you sooner than later.
Yeah, dope, for sure. Yeah, come out whenever. I'll be waiting.
Awesome.
I'm there almost every day. So
really?
I'll be there chilling.
I'll go up. I'll be like, I'm looking for Olin. He said I can come through. I'll be that guy. But we'll see. I'll bring my girls all geared up, and we'll be there to put in work.
Tight. Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Olin. Well, you have a good day, my man, and I'll be talking to you real soon. Take care, brother.
Thank you. You too. Talk to you later.
All right, my man. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Woo! Well, there you go. Olin Pettit. Right here in 209, right in my backyard. You heard it. You saw it. To me, he looks confident. He's doing all the right things. If you haven't seen him already, it's on YouTube. Check out his first fight. He's going to be June 24th, Conquer 4. We're all going to be there. So if you haven't got your tickets, get them now. See us out there. Make sure you see me. Say what's up. And until then, peace.